everybody, welcome back. It's just me again. Second video of the day, and this one is going to be a review of a extremely popular and highly underrated PS1 classic, The Legend of Dragoon. Now, this one was for the PlayStation 1, and if I check my notes, it was developed by Japan Studio and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. And it was released in 1999 in Japan, 2000 in North America, and 2001 in Europe. And it's a high fantasy RPG, very much in the vein of Final Fantasy, but extremely different. There's still different features, combat system. This one went under the radar, I think. It's highly underrated, very highly underrated, and I've only just gotten onto disc 2 of this game. I never played it back in the day because I was into all the Final Fantasy games and stuff. So I unfortunately never got to play this back in the day, but I've picked it up. I picked this up for $50 at a swap meet. Swap meet, yeah, swap meet. I would say a swap meet. And it's absolutely in perfect condition. 4 discs, not scratched at all. Instruction booklet with it. And I'm only on disc 2, and already I have sunk over nearly 40 hours into it, and I'm only on disc 2. I absolutely love Legend of Dragoon. What can I say about it? Other than the combat system with the new combat system is called Additions, which is it's a quick time event, series of button pushes that correspond with these 2 squares that slowly go into the center of the screen. When they overlap and converge with each other, you press the corresponding button, which is X, for either 1 or 2 pushes. Sometimes it goes even further. It's a sequence of quick time events to give you more damage. If you miss, you get less damage, but it's all in the timing. It's an extremely well done battle system. I absolutely love it. I'm not an expert at the battle system on Legend of Dragoon, but with some of the additions from the characters, I've got sort of down pat. So I'm absolutely in love with Legend of Dragoon. Japan Studio, absolutely fantastic job. Sony Computer Entertainment have done an absolutely fantastic job. The director, Yasuki Hasebe, fantastic. He's also the designer as well of the game, and the producer is Shuhei Yoshida. They are absolutely fantastic. I praise them immensely. It's absolutely fantastic game. Legend of Dragoon brings about all different sorts of characters, quirky, lovable characters. The story is really involving. I am loving the story so far, although I'm only on disc 2, which a lot of people will be like, oh, you're only on disc 2. There's been a lot involved so far. I've just been taking my time with it. I really want to take my time with it because this game is absolutely fun. As I love doing the Dragoon transformations when you got enough power levels to get your Dragoon up. And even in the Dragoon side of it, you've got an attack with quick time events that goes around in a circle, and you've got to hit the X button as it hits around full circle, like a clock type of thing. And the more button pushes you get into it, the more damage you do. And then there's the other side of it, which is the magic attacks, which give you really devastating blows to one single enemy or multiple enemies. So you have to work with it because it works on an MP system. So once your MP system runs out, you have to you can only attack, you can't use magic. And then once you've used that up, once your level goes back down, because it runs down, you go back into your normal form again. I kind of like that system. It's very well done. It's fantastic to play. It's just fantastic. What can the plot of it is fantastic. Like, the map is basic. Basic graphics on a map, although I wish it had been full open world like Final Fantasy VII. But I like the way that they've done this, where it's like a map, and you go from here to up to here, or across there, or down there. Excuse me, that's just my Tamagotchis going off. I'll just ignore them for a minute. So the map is simple, but everything else, like the environments and that, for the graphics, absolutely fantastic environment pull-offs. They've done fantastic. Even some of the battle sequences, FMVs. I love FMVs. I remember the day growing up watching FMVs on the PlayStation, like Final Fantasy VII's FMVs, Final Fantasy VIII's, Final Fantasy IX's. The FMV sequences in certain parts of the games are what sells the game as well and makes it a great addition. It's absolutely fantastic. So it's set in a world called Endinus, and it's sort of like set in the Middle Ages with fantasy elements. It's got swords, magic, dragons, contains a different world of species, including humans, dragons, and winglies. I'm not going to give too much away for people who haven't played it, but that's a different species. There's human. It's all sorts of things. It's really, really, it's fantastic the way that they've pulled this plot and stuff together. And it's basically, there's 9 characters. The main protagonist is Dart. He's a warrior who's searching for the Black Monster. Shana is Dart's childhood friend and love interest. Watch out for that. There's some really good banter between the two of them. It reminds me from some scenes of Final Fantasy VII. There's Rose, who's a warrior who teaches Dart how to fight as Dragoon. Albert is the king of Basil. You got Lavitz. You got Meru. You got Kongul. Miranda as a magician. Kongul is sort of like your warrior. Meru is your dancer. Lavitz is a loyal knight who fights with a spear. So they get involved in saving the world from destruction. There's a lot's involved with the Black Monster, the man with the silver hair. It's just, I don't want to give much away with the plot, but it centers on when he goes to Solace and there's a war that breaks out and there's a truce that's broken, and then he gets involved in that and then finds out that he's a Dragoon, an ancient mystical warrior type thing. And it just goes from there. And the plot I just love the plot. I love the banter between the characters, the grittiness, the playfulness of it as well. There's a lot of really funny banter going backwards and forwards. It all plays out fantastically. Even though I'm on disc 2, I'm just absolutely loving this game. For anyone that hasn't played it, buy it. If you can, download it. I know it's on the PS5 store now. You can download it. So go and download it because it's all improved graphics, sound, music, FMVs. It's all been upscaled. Absolutely fantastic. But I've bought this one to play the original. So I'm happy with that. It's extremely in well-knit condition. Even though it's the greatest hits, I'll cherish it. I don't have a black label, unfortunately. I couldn't find a black label. I know they're more expensive, but even this one, even the greatest hits can be expensive as well. I just happened to get this for $50 from a guy that was at a swap meet. So that was good. And I bought it off him straight away for $50 because that was a steal. I absolutely love it. It's pretty good. It's in very excellent condition. So so far I rate this game 10 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic, perfect. Brings back nostalgia for me playing the Final Fantasy games, but seeing this, and it just very much reminds me of Final Fantasy VII. I'm like, oh my god, it's just like they did a fantastic job. Although it's not Final Fantasy, but this studio, the people that worked on it and the studio that worked on it made it their own, and it's nothing to do with Final Fantasy. That's what I like to see. This game stands on its own. It's highly underrated. I really wish they would do a remaster of it, like a full-blown, it's already sort of like a remaster now, but a different type of remaster or a full-blown remake of this for the PS5 would be fucking fantastic. But other than that, 10 out of 10. Thanks guys for tuning into this video. This one is my second one. I will have another one, maybe 2 out later on tonight, hopefully. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. I have to now go and tend to these bloody Tamagotchis that I just started up again. And I'll get back to you with some more videos very soon. Alright, catch you guys later. Bye.